Schmo with the pro, with UFC commentator, with UFC broadcaster Laura Sanko in the flesh. UFC X, International Fight Week. It's UFC 290. How we doing?
We're doing great. You know, it's been a minute since I've spoken to you, and you took me back there. I jumped a second because I forget how hard you go in the paint, like right out the gate. But I'm with you now. We're good. We're on the same page.
We appreciate that basketball reference, going harder than paint like Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shaq all day, man. I miss Shaq. I miss the Shaq days.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I am not a current NBA fan at all.
You're too busy.
I love one sport and one sport only, and that's MMA. But back in the day, the heyday of basketball, the Jordan era, that I could like kind of talk to you about. But let's not try it.
Same with the Schmo. The Jordan era, the Schmo's 90s, the Chicago Bulls, that's what we love. But we love mixed martial arts, and that's what we're here for. Let's talk about this. What do you make of this Ronda Rousey rumor that she may be returning? There's a vacant 135-pound strap, and if she does return, do you think that she should be fighting for that vacant strap? Or is that a Raquel Pennington? Is that a Juliana Pena? What would you like to see, Laura?
Can you imagine the return of the woman who started this all for all of us? Like, I am so on board for that. You have no idea. For her to return, I don't care who she's facing. I have no problem with her going right to the front of the line. What she's done for this sport, what she did when she was at the top, her title reign, absolutely. Now that Amanda has gone off into greener pastures, I love that throne's open. And if there's any chance in the world that Ronda can come back and sit there, all about it.
What's been your favorite Schmoment so far doing the commentary? I know there's a lot of great stuff that happens week to week. Maybe it's something that hasn't made on air. Maybe it's a little bit of banter with Bisbing behind the scenes. What is your favorite Schmoment so far, Laura?
Oh gosh, there's a lot. Michael and I talk a lot when we're like pushing our buttons that prevent the audience from hearing anything we say. We go back and forth a lot. My favorite Schmoment. Gosh, that's a tough one. For me personally, it's any time where like I can see something before it's already been said. And like I can see it's usually for me, it's a grappling exchange. If I can start to see someone setting something up and walk the audience through it, like that's always my goal. It's what I'm trying to get better at every time I do it. But I don't know. It's not a very funny answer. I'm sure I have a lot of moments that probably just can't be talked about.
No, but listen, that's what it is. You see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
You see it coming in the back of your mind. They finish, and that's what it's all about.
I mean, I will say that I really enjoyed rubbing 4th of July into Bisbing's nose the other day. That was kind of fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was great, by the way.
The rehearsal version of that, which of course did not air, was 10 times better because he takes great umbrage at the idea of America removing itself from the thumb of tyranny. We had a long conversation about it.
So what do you think your role is going to be when we eventually get Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk going inside the cage?
That's a great question. I mean, it's obviously going to be a numbered event, and traditionally speaking, I'm doing the weigh-in show, which even just watching those guys weigh in, that image hadn't crossed my mind yet, and it just did, and I love it. We'll see, man. I mean, the dream would be to be part of the broadcast team, but that's a top tier, top shelf pay-per-view, so probably not holding my breath for that one, but we'll see.
The Schmo wants to see Elon Musk perform this Walrus he's been talking about, that move.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a very dominant, hip-heavy top control with a lot of just like use of the bass, basing out. See, this is what you need in a commentator who can take really sloppy fights, which, I mean, I spent the majority of my time on regional MMA, so I'm very familiar with sloppy fights. You gotta take the sloppy fight, filter it through, and soften it a bit, right? Not just say, look at him laying there like a walrus.
Yeah.
You make it sound intentional, which I think it would be for him.
If you were to guess, when is Conor McGregor returning to the octagon? We've been teased with this Michael Chandler fight. Everybody thought it's going to be 2023. Likely not going to be the case anymore.
If I had a feeling, can you imagine UFC 300 if it was Elon, Mark, Conor, Chandler?
Well, Conor would have to be the headline. When does Conor McGregor ever not fight where he's not the top dog?
Well, he would be, but that doesn't matter. Like, you could put Elon and Mark as the first fight of the night.
Would they do that? They got big egos, Laura.
That'd be the co-main event, but it wouldn't matter. It would not matter where you put them on the card at all. And listen, I'm not such a purist in the sense that like I have a problem with that fight. Of course it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be horrendously sloppy. But at the end of the day, the reason why fighting is so compelling is because if we saw a fight between a couple of fans break out right now, you and I would both turn over there and we would look at it.
Of course.
That's the basis of what started this sport. So while it's not going to be the highest level technique, do I want to watch it? Yes, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. And the number of people, the number of eyeballs it would draw to this sport, I think would be, I don't know, high tides lift all boats. It'd be really cool to see.
All right, so what's your dream fight then for the actual fighters, the pros in the UFC that you'd like to see within this next calendar year? What's the dream matchup, Laura?
Well, I mean, I got to see Jon Jones versus Stipe. I want that fight so badly, and I think it will happen.
Well, now we're not going to get Jon Jones versus Izzy anytime soon because they squashed the beef.
I know, unfortunately, right? I think that they could resurrect that beef real quick if they needed to, but the size difference between them I feel like is probably too much right now.
Nowadays, yes.
Yeah. There was a day where it would have made a lot of sense. Probably not so much anymore. So yeah, Jon Jones versus Stipe for me. And I think there's a very good chance we get that.
Yeah. All the schmoes wish we could have saw that this weekend because that was the initial rumor.
I know. Yeah, that was, I think we were all hoping for that. But we have a good one in replacement. And I think the more that people have started to dissect the real technical matchup between Volkanovski and Rodriguez, it's like, oh, wow, this is a really good fight. This is truly a very good fight. It's not just an A side and a B side. This is a big deal.
Yeah, certainly is. Can we get a final message for all the Laura Sanko fans out there worldwide?
Oh, man. Thank you. That's all I got to say is thank you. I appreciate all the love on Twitter. I could probably do without some of the other stuff on Twitter, but it's Twitter, so Twitter's going to Twitter.
What about Threads? You big on that now, too?
You know what? It's so funny. I literally just found out about Threads. This is how old I am. 45 minutes ago.
Wow, she's fresh.
So, yeah, I think I could see myself heading to Threads if we can keep it positive and keep it more. I feel like Instagram in general is a more positive place, which is so I like to hang out there.
You keep it positive. She's the pro. I'm the schmo. UFC X. We're out.